Well, okay. You have nothing else, Ben? Can we jump over to Heron Lake miscellaneous?
Sure.
Let's jump over into Heron Lake Development, LOC, while we're waiting on that bid clock to tick down.
We'll knock stuff out.
After reading that, I was confused. Are they basically saying that, Wayne basically saying that they're not liable because only the owner of the development can force them to apply with the performance bond or the letter of credit? I don't understand it. They're saying we're harming them
That's
too,
what I
right?
got out of it.
That we're harming them, or?
Well, they're saying that the letter of credit they've been signing is not a real contract, that it was an unenforceable promise for the last several years, which I don't agree with necessarily. I think when you do a letter of credit, it means something. I don't just automatically agree with their argument on that. I'm going to try to go to my page here. I have 107 open matters for the county and 88 pages of notes. That's why I have to look for these.
I get it.
And LOC. There's a lot of, okay, letter of credit, there we go. Item number 49 here. So the developer, as I understand it, Wayne Asphalt was maybe part of the, I don't know, somehow was part of the development. I'm not sure how that worked.
What's not on? Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
We're on the other. Okay, Jim. Thank you.
so normally on a road project like this, I think the developer would be doing the letter of credit. That surprised me a little bit when I looked at it first. But Wayne Asphalt did the letter of credit instead of the developer. So Wayne Asphalt now wants to say, well, the developer's bankrupt, so we're off the hook. Well, that does, I don't buy that right off the bat because for some reason the developer wasn't the one on the letter of credit that was guaranteeing it to the county. Wayne Asphalt chose to do that, and now they want to say, well, the developer went bankrupt, so we don't have to comply.
Because they didn't get paid.
They didn't get paid.
Right.
Right. But that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whether they got paid or not, they chose to do the letter of credit, and you relied on that when you approved it.
Otherwise, what was the point of the letter of credit?
Right, right. So I think it's not a fair argument that they're making in their letter.
It's like co-signing a loan.
Right,
In
it's
a
like
way.
co-signing a loan.
Yeah.
The co-signer goes bankrupt, and now they don't
I'll
want to
take care
comply
of it,
with
yeah.
it. They want to say, hey, we never had to do this. They're telling us right now they're not going to do another letter of credit. They said, we demand that you declare this letter of credit that it's dead in the water, terminated, whatever. I don't think we should do that. So the only other option then is to, okay, so here are the reasons I've got it here. The letter of credit was originally for the completion of the road, and they're trying to say the road is actually completed. But I don't think it is from talking to Ben and Chris Galmer. Letter of credit was done by Wayne pursuant to a request by the developer. And so because the developer defaulted on their contract, the fact that Wayne never got paid, I don't think has anything to do with this letter of credit. It's a separate deal. The county wouldn't have approved the project, right? And so then Wayne would have lost, the contract is, or what they got out of the deal is the ability to do the work. Now, it shouldn't matter to us that they didn't bother to get paid first, or get half down, or whatever.
That's the reason of the letter of credit or the reason for the performance bond, in case the developer files bankruptcy or whatever, the funds are still there to complete the project.
Right.
So then they throw up the argument that if the developer is in bankruptcy, then the original contract, so they threw up a bankruptcy executory contract argument. And so they're saying because we can't force the developer to complete the project, okay? Because the developer's in bankruptcy.
Right.
And so federal bankruptcy law stops all lawsuits and claims you know, state law, federal law, whatever, but it stops all state court claims and contracts unless they're renewed under the bankruptcy case. And there's been no contract yet under the bankruptcy case renewing this project with Heron Development. So he's trying to say because of that, we can't make them comply with their portion of the contract, which again, I don't agree with because Wayne Asphalt is not in bankruptcy. It's only Heron Development.
Because if that's the case, the bonds are useless, and so is letter of credit. We might as well stay out of a development 100% until it's complete, 100% complete, and then go in and accept it. You know, because otherwise this could happen in the future. You know, then the county gets stuck on the hook to finish the road projects.
And then he makes an argument that I don't agree with. He says that only the developer can call the letter of credit.
That's what I read, yeah.
And I don't believe that. I think we have the right because it's done to us.
It's done to
And that's
us.
what we did. I sent a letter calling the letter of credit, and that's how we got this response. And I don't think their argument there makes any sense.
No.
And then he has the post-petition, so post-petition for bankruptcy letter of credit is an unauthorized cloud on the title of Wayne Asphalt's assets.
Yeah.
That's just throwing that's throwing a threat up against the county saying we're somehow clouding their title of their assets with this. And that's just thrown up to make us nervous about something. I don't think it's a valid claim thrown up again. This is a valid letter of credit that they signed and that we're claiming on now because the road's not done and the developer's in bankruptcy.
Right.
So.
The fact that they didn't get paid is of no consequence.
Is of no consequence
It
to us.
sucks, I feel for them.
Right, but they shouldn't have signed the
But
letter
don't
of
sign a letter
credit.
of credit unless-
Business-wise, they
yeah.
probably shouldn't have done that
Right.
unless they were hoping that the whole project would come through if they supported it, and that's probably the mindset that they went through, is, hey, if we support this, this whole project's gonna go through and everybody's gonna make money, and it didn't, it went bankrupt. So,
So the thing with that out there, we got to remember, is the reason why we do the bonds or the letter of credit is that they sell lots out there, people buy property out there, and then they're dependent on that road for ingress and egress. There is homes sold out there. I think there's 10 built, if I remember, I looked it up.
So,
And then I think all of them but one sold. So there are residents living out there. So the county can, from my understanding, go ahead and deny this, not accept it because it's not complete, wash our hands of it.
right.
But therefore, that's not really fair to the people that bought out there that invested. Because then basically they have a road that's privately owned that now they're going to have to pay to own and wasn't originally part of the plan. It's not their fault that the developer defaulted.
what recourse would they have, though? File a suit on their behalf, a class
The
action?
problem is their suit would be with Heron Development, and that's in bankruptcy, and there's
So they're-
probably not enough assets to get anything out of. And they would have had deadlines to make for all of them to join together and file suit. And there's deadlines, once you file a bankruptcy, there's claim deadlines, and those are probably missed by now. And to some extent, the damages that they're gonna experience are really more down the road in 5 or 10 years, or 15 years or something, potentially. I mean, there's some problems now.
Well, I mean, the road's not finished, so they're going to experience costs right off the bat because the surface coat's not on the road.
Which means it'll start to pothole more,
It
maybe?
will, yes.
Get rougher quicker? Yes.
What would it cost to finish the project in your estimation? Just napkin out, if you had to guess.
I don't even know how long that is or any of that. I don't know, Todd. I know if they
Are we
give an
talking
estimate.
a quarter mile maybe for the 10 houses?
I think,
Quarter mile is what I was
I
estimating.
think they give us a bond, I think the total price, the engineer's estimate is like right around 50,000, I think.
And the bond was for 50 or 60, wasn't it, or something like that?
But I don't know for sure. There's some curb line that needed, I haven't been out there in quite a while. There was some curb line that needed redone, and like I said, go and do any patching of the base that needed it, and then put the surface coat on it.
So the surface coat, that'll wear quicker.
Without it, yes, because the base is more porous. and it
Yeah,
can
let
pothole more
soak
and-
in the.
You can kind of see on a base that isn't done, that there's like little pockets of air and around the stones and stuff, right? So the option, like Ben said, is to wash our hands of it. This is not the county's issue, but then the homeowners are left out in the lurch. If we pursue it, then our option would have to be to file suit against Wayne Asphalt on behalf of the letter of credit.
Right.
you know, I can't guarantee a win on this, but I like our odds. I don't agree. I mean, I understand what they're saying in this Attorney Muster's letter to us, but I don't agree that they're right. We have a letter of credit for this purpose. I don't care that the developer is bankrupt at this point. We have a letter of credit. Now, if we let this one expire, and when does it expire? Do you recall? It's coming
I
up.
think it's like in May, if I remember right.
So we got a little while, but, so we need to sue by May. They're not gonna give us a new one. So if we don't sue by May, then there's no way to hold them accountable for it because they aren't the developer.
I think we have to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, what's right's right, and like I said, it's horrible that they didn't get paid, I feel bad, but that's risk. You stick your neck out saying, hey, I'm gonna make some money, and it goes
Yeah.
wrong, well, now you gotta
Right.
pay up when you wager
Right.
a bet, sometimes you have to pay the other way,
Right.
you know? If you don't wanna pay, don't guarantee it.
They
bought
shouldn't
the
have, yeah,
Yeah,
they shouldn't have guaranteed it.
yeah, the Lake James equivalent hype, yeah, okay.
And this would be really interesting if we do go that route to see what happens to maybe how we move forward with these projects.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
Because if that's the case, I mean, we may want to change in our UDO and things of how we accept and take
Right.
responsibility and ownership, because it's,
Right.
I mean, the developers are the one making all the money off these properties and building it, you know, and then the county's taking it over. Eventually, we'll get the tax revenue, but it's not fair that the taxpayer have to pay to build that road.
yeah,
Finish the road.
Right.
especially for what they paid for them lots. Ooh, boy.
We want to proceed with that today, give them the authorization to proceed with that?
I think might as well get the ball rolling. They've stated they're not gonna pay. I would make a motion that we go ahead and, file a lawsuit.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and second on the floor. Comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, I will prepare that complaint to get that going.
Release the hounds.
Thank you, Andrew.
You're welcome.
Yeah, let me know if you need anything else on that, Andrew. So,
Probably will, but yes. All right.
okay.
This is too
Got
bad.
about one more minute yet.
Yeah, it is. Things get that far along.
Yeah, I feel like I
You know, the
said,
thing of it is, they went through bankruptcy not long ago.
Yeah, Jim's got, you got a comment, Jim?
Yes.
No.
So I don't believe so. I think whatever the vote is of the commissioners now covers next year. Now, if you and Kellen come in and you're both against it, I guess you could do another motion or something if you're both against it. But I think that nothing changes automatically when there's, like if there were all three new commissioners up there, all the prior ordinances and motions and rulings and all that would
Carry
stay
over.
the same until they're brought up again for another vote. Okay? Yeah, good question. Yep.
Okay,
10:30.
Very close,
10
isn't it?
seconds.
Okay.
Time you get it out of the envelope, we'll be
I know
on.
it, right? Well, like I said, it's our annual bid opening. We scheduled to have it at 10:30 today. So I will get started. So I'm going to just go through, I'm going to open up the bids. I'll read the item that they're for and what they bid on. I'm not going to read every line item. We'll be here for quite a while, but if someone in the audience or one of you guys have a question on a particular bid, please let me know and I will say more on it.
And as usual, they'll take them under advisement and then bring back the recommendations
Yeah.
in 2 weeks.
So I've got one here from Sieber Brothers for item number 8. And item number 8 is for professional services. Got one from Keystone for item number 2, premium diesel fuel. That's the one that we have that's exemption from everything else. We'll see what we get for bids that we can award the fuel today if we feel we've got a good price. On diesel fuel, totaled So this is taxes and all delivered. Contract price would be $2.92. And then open market price today, taxes, is 2.87. And that's from Keystone.
Open market meaning it's just gonna be based off futures contracts, whatever it
That's
is.
based on whatever the market is the day I order it. Yeah, some prior commissioners want me to put that on there. Historically, we've never done open market.
No, we've always locked in, which is good,
I think it's a lot safer for us.
yeah.
I got one from Pulver and Sons for item number 6. Which is bituminous mixture. Yeah, because our diesel fuel contract was $3.23 last year.
Wagering that Trump's gonna bring down somewhat.
I hope. Asphalt materials,
Big time.
item number 5. Which is our liquid bituminous. I have Clifford aggregate, item number 3. Item number 3 is our aggregate limestone.
All limestone.
The list goes through where there's pickup, where there's delivery, and there are different types of aggregate limestone. Another one from Clifford aggregate, item number 8. You guys look so thrilled.
Fun.
Which is professional services. It's your two's last one to go through.
Yeah. I'm gonna miss it.
I bet you are.
Do we have more bids this year than last year?
I don't know. It
Looks like a
looks like
bunch.
about the same. We always get quite.
Yeah, quite a few.
Clifford aggregate again, bid item number 4. Item number 4 is aggregate gravel. Have one from ConAg, item number 3. St. Mary's, Ohio. Which is our aggregate limestone. API Construction, item number 6. And it's our bituminous mixture. Specialties Company, item number 11. And that's for our FDR. Full depth reclamation, FDR. Item number 11. It's RECLAMATION. Full depth and reclamation.
There, item 11. Franklin Delmer.
Stafford gravel, items 3 and 4. which is aggregate limestone and aggregate gravel. I remember the year they forgot the bid. Didn't, they changed emails or something, and they didn't get it, and well, that made it hard for us too, because we had to, everything come from over here. I'm sorry. Great Lakes chloride, item number 7.
That's control. Calcium chloride.
So that's liquid calcium chloride, $1.37 a gallon.
What was it last year, remember? That sounds pretty close, but I'm not sure.
I don't remember, but I brought the bids with me.
And do they spray it or do we spray it?
They spray it.
They spray it,
For the $1.37?
Yeah.
Not too bad.
a lot of gallons.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying for them, because their machinery, their gasoline.
What item was that? Item number 7?
We pay that out of our
$1.29.
$29.
Couple pennies cheaper than that.
8 cents.
We spent, it was a lot of money, $200 and some thousand.
Was it that much?
Pearston Trucking, item number 5, liquid bituminous. So this is our ceiling asphalt. $3.22 a gallon. Ceiling asphalt. That will probably change again by the time we start sealing. Hopefully it comes down. That has a escalation clause in.
Does it?
Hickson Sand and Gravel, item number 8, hourly rates. Boy, getting in that one, did
Didn't
she?
get an opening.
Robin was doing that just to mess with me, wasn't she? Yeah, she even taped the end to that, look at that. Hopefully we never have to use that hourly rates for payloader, snow removal and all that. So another one from Hickson Sand and Gravel, item number 4. There's aggregate gravel. Hickson Sand and Gravel again, item number 3. Aggregate limestone. Number 11, limestone picked up $32.95 a ton.
32. Yeah, it is.
Picked up?
That is a lot. Hope that's not the only bid.
Well, I mean, stone's been going up.
Yeah.
Last year it was $32. It went up 95 cents. That was from Dixon. Stafford was $23.50. I think last year. It just depends on what they're buying it and their trucking to get it in, and so I said the prices are over. Three Rivers Barricade, item number 9. This would be our pavement markings. One from Brooks First Construction, item number 6. Our bituminous mixture. It looks like the hot mix has stayed about the same. Brooks First Construction, item number 3. Aggregate limestone. Brooks First Construction again, item number 8. Is hourly rates. Air markings, item number 9. And that is for pavement markings. Fritz Excavating, item number 8. And that's for hourly rates.
Who was that again?
Fritz Excavating. They're out of Ohio, Eden, Ohio. It's Terry Fritz's boy. He owned Rock Bottom Gravel Pit. Accurate striping. Should be for item number 9. Oh, it says services. Item 9, pavement markings. Wayne Asphalt, item number 6. Don't look so enthused over there, guys. Bituminous mixture. Pavement Solutions, item number 10. And that's for bituminous mixtures.
What number was that?
It's Pavement Solutions, the item number 10.
Bituminous,
No, that's what they put it under. It's for,
I thought that was 6.
this is for item 10, bituminous mixed installed by contractor. This would be the micro seal.
Neat process, that
Right.
pretty cool.
Pavement Solutions, item number 8, hourly rates. Payment Solutions, item number 5. And that's liquid bituminous. Bailey Aggregates, item number 3. Aggregate limestone. Bailey Aggregates, item number 4. You didn't think there's that many here, Todd. Aggregate gravel. Bailey Aggregates, item number 8. Which is hourly rates. CBK Enterprises, bid item number 3. Aggregate limestone. CBK Enterprises, item number 4. Aggregate gravel. CBK Enterprise, item number 8. Hourly rates. Stone Street. Just says annual bid. Item number 4, aggregate gravel. Item number 3, aggregate limestone. American Timber Bridge, item number 1. Treat or lumber for bridges. And that's what they give. Item 1, treated timber rail.
Only one fuel oil or diesel quote, huh?
So,
And you said at air markings instead of CE Hughes milling, is that?
right, yeah,
But those are the
it's air
same.
markings is who it is, but that's, I'm not sure what,
It was right after Brooks.
you need something off of that one?
I just wanted to
wanna
make
confirm.
sure, well, I had listed it as CE Hughes milling because that's what the envelope said,
Yeah, I see Hughes Millings, DBA, the air marking company.
air marking, okay.
So I'm not sure if they joined someone, the CEU's Hill Milling Incorporated. But it's always been air marking, so that's why I referenced air marking. They might have merged with someone possibly. There's our bids. Historically, we've got one for fuel. I can review that bid. Last year, we was contracted at $3.23 a gallon with Keystone. And this year, they've got a contract price with taxes, 2.924. That would be for the year. I did watch the fuel market here a little bit the last month. It's went down here within the last week. It's been up. It's the gamble thing. You know, we can lock today if you guys so choose, or we can wait and see what the market does in 2 weeks. When we come back, we can have them resubmit.
Or 2.94.
2.924.
924, yeah.
Yep. They gotta get that tenth of a cent in there.
Then do a 9.
You know, the Keystone was formerly Ceres, and then before that was Co-op. They've always been a good fuel company. We've always gotten good fuel from them. The 292, that's a pretty good number from what we've been in the past.
Retail right now about 339 on diesel, 340.
There's like I seen it the other day is 347
So 50
at
cents a
the-
gallon discount to lock it.
over it, right? You know, and
I think, guys, that fuel eventually comes down, but I don't think it comes down quickly. I think Trump's over, he's gonna get it down, but there's so much money sloshing out there, right, still. This inflation, I think, stays up there even in energy for a little bit. I would be afraid to lock that price at this point, in my opinion,
I like the fact it's below last year's
but yeah,
price.
40 cents almost.
And so that's,
31
that tells
cents.
me that we're still gonna gain, and we're guaranteed.
Because if we would get into a war,
Everything
gonna-
changes.
it could change temporarily
Yeah.
anyway. I'm not afraid of that price.
I'm not either. You think, Mike?
Mike?
Yeah. I mean, there's a crystal
Yeah.
ball, huh?
you know, honestly, I'll tell you, we've never done the open market for a year, and stayed with that because the vulnerability with our budget,
Yeah,
because once it goes up, it's up.
Yeah.
We're not gonna get that lower price. We have waited a little bit. Have we gained? Not really. It's stayed about that same. We waited a couple months.
you average it out, you're gonna end
Yeah.
up,
How many gallons do we use a year roughly, Ben, if you had to
We
guess?
contract 80,000. This year, we're just over 70 that we've used,
So 80,000 at a 30-cent savings is
25,000,
still
just under 25,000.
25 grand, and then, like I said, you get into a war, or something crazy happens, blow up a pipeline or something, and I'll tell you what, that diesel could be $5-6 a gallon.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think we're probably better off locking it in. I think we see some movement by the third quarter, but
I think you're probably right, but by then, we'll be contracting
Yeah.
for the next year,
Yeah.
so. I think Mike's right, I think the end of the year is where we're gonna see the price improvement, because there's still money sloshing out there and keeping prices up.
It looks like they've submitted everything that was required for our bid. Looks accurate. So they've got a good bid.
We go ahead and do it, or wait the 2 weeks, or?
If you guys want to do it, from what I've seen, I'm comfortable with that 292. I mean, where we're going to gain, I don't think we're going to gain maybe a couple pennies at the most. But there again, that's your guys' is what you decide. I'm okay with the 292. That's within what we budgeted. And
292.4.
yeah, yeah.
We get that for it,
Well, hey, that's probably,
And
probably $400 or $500.
Bruce is back there. He's from Keystone. I deal with Bruce pretty regular. They've been real good to work with. They even brought up the portable tank this year
Oh, good.
for us to use. I did speak with Bruce and told him about the highway move, and 12,000 gallon tank we got, and he was pretty ecstatic when we heard that we was getting that 12,000 versus the 10,000. He said they don't even sell or spec or deal with 10,000 anymore. Because of the flexibility with getting that extra tanker. So everything you just said is what they're going for, so.
All right.
If you have any
I'll entertain that
questions, Bruce can
motion.
answer.
I'll make a motion to accept the bid at 292.4 from Keystone for 2025 diesel.
Well, second.
A motion and second on the floor. Are there any additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same.
If you all want to sign the bottom of this Form 95, then Bruce will send me the lot contract later today.
Okay. What else you got, Ben? Anything else?
Nothing else. The only thing I have is the bids here, for you guys to, yes? Okay,
Oh, okay.
thank you, Bruce. If you guys want to go ahead and accept all these bids for me to take under advisement and bring back to you on the
30th.
December 30th,
30th, yeah.
be good.
Good.
So who's motioning and who's seconding?
So I'd make a motion that we then review the bids, take under advisement, and present to us on the 30th.
And I'll second.
A motion and a second on the floor. Additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same. Got some homework, Ben.
Yeah.
Ben, I
Yeah,
got a
that's
question.
always,
Ben, I got a question.
okay.
Could we source limestone direct from the pits? Would you have to have a scale to do that, or is there a way we could source direct rather than going through a middleman?
The hard part is we got to go there and load it. We got to go there and pick it up.
You'd
haul it
have to
back.
pick it up.
And then we get so much trucking in on it. There's a lot of other bids in there that
But
we
we're
must.
paying, we're
Because I
paying the
got
truck
one.
into the pit.
There was one, well, yeah, because you got to go clear down south Fort Wayne to get that.
We're still paying for that, though.
South to that big pit by the airport down there, is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about?
Lincoln Road.
We're still paying that.
Thing's like 10,000 foot deep.
Yeah.
The other thing we got to do then is we got to put tarps on all of our trucks. That's gravel.
Yeah, we probably don't have the truck size we would need to do it efficiently.
Because like this one here, limestone delivered, number 11, to our facilities, 2745.
Our facility. It's 32 at the,
And that's pickup there. That's why I said I just got to go through the bids, and
okay, just wondering.
that's why that's one reason that we award all bids, because it just depends on where we're at in the county. You know, even if one a little bit higher than the other, the traveling back and forth makes justification for the timing and the fuel. You know, so that, and there's also times that one pit's out of material and the other one's got it. We run into that occasionally as well.
Miles is money
And time,
and time.
yes.
Yep.
Who wants copies of everything? So, yeah,
Okay.
you know, they did that in the past, and the ideal thing to do is run the interstate. The bad thing with that is that stone does come off them trucks. Regardless, they can say whatever they want about it being road hazard, it comes off them trucks. And then you get liability claims and
Yeah.
things along that. You know, plus we'd have to tarp the trucks. None of the trucks have tarps on them. We typically don't haul that far. And
Yeah.
when you're going that far, that fast down the road, you need to tarp it.
Yep.
I've
Okay.
always laughed at, not our responsibility if something falls off my truck and hits your car. It's like, don't tell me that, you know?
You know, we really need to go buy a triaxle anyway if you're gonna haul enough to be
And you
worthwhile.
start hauling that far, yes. Even the tandems aren't
Yeah,
really
you'd have
that.
to have triax. Yeah, at least.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Yeah, as you want to haul 22, 23 ton instead of the 15 ton with our tandems.
Or 18-wheelers even
yeah.
It's just,
to do that.
and then with our manpower,
Yeah.
we'd have too much windshield time. Just not
Okay.
enough fleet. one of these days, maybe. So, I don't think I have business for you guys, just some FYIs for you. Saturday, Weller was in, we disconnected the power to the highway department, got the big transfer switch wired in, so that's in. There's discussion about the generator coming this week, and then they will be in to wire the generator up. So then that will be complete. Our fuel tank is in, plumbed, wired, fueled, ready to operate.
It's ready, they've certified it.
Yep, it's all done. We've got a little bit of fuel left in that portable tank that we've got. We're gonna pump that out. As soon as that's empty, we'll move that, and then we'll be going off of our big tank. So that's all,
Generator's it. And then we're,
yep. And like I said, the signs there are installed, so everything,
Looks good.
yep.
I sent everybody a picture of the sign here tonight when it was lit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tuesday night. Yeah.
It looks
really
good.
sharp.
It does. It looks nice. I've gotten a lot of compliments on that already, so
Yeah, good.
it turned out really nice.
All right,
Yeah, the fuel tank, they pumped all that. We pumped a lot of fuel out of, I think we pumped close to 200 gallons between the two pumps. Purged them and then checked the gallonages and pumped it back into our little tank there. So a lot of mobile fuel back and forth, but yeah, everything went pretty well. So,
okay. Thanks, Ben.
okay, thank you guys.
Have a good week.
I hope so. You do the same.
Okay.
No snow for Christmas, you know.
Rain.
Right. Did anybody have any questions on any bids that I opened before I leave?
Not me.
All right. Jeff, you are on board. What you got today? Morning.
I had that in the email.
So do you need another one, or you got it?
No, I'm good. So, or you need a copy, Bill? It was in the email.
No. It's-
Got an extra one, Jeff?
Well, while you're handing them out, I'll
Well,
look
if you're
at
handing them out, I don't have to look at my email.
Barry.
Hate to have you waste money on copy.
They're in the business, they get a discount.
Yeah, he gets a discount.
One thing I can bring.
Yeah.
Okay, just a couple of notes. These are the recommendations we're doing for this year. Assessor's office is up, clerk's office is up, quarter is up, community corrections is up. Those are all standard changes, no additions there. Sheriff's office, that are end of service. Talked to Besa about that. Back. But the third one in there too, he said that is a low use. So wait, let that one fire. Dead, it's dead, and we'll do something. To have your overall budget this year, or your overall spend this year, is almost exactly what it was last year. Okay? And even though leases, because prices have been going up, leases are up about $4,000, $4,400. But if you remember last year when we came in, we talked about going around and checking a high use account and making sure the color was not that's default, we went to black and white default, and that saved us over that. Okay, so we are, by the time we do our purchases for those two machines and re-up the leases, put the budget in, as long as we stay where we're at, we're almost even money last year. So it really worked out by going out and checking all those machines, making sure they're set for black and white default. That's not a one-time deal. We need to keep doing it, okay, especially as machines come in and then take roving checks. So what we'll continue to do is look at our high-use offices, go look at those machines and make sure that they're set for default of black and white. Because anytime they switch a driver, something happens, that it comes back to the automatic, and they don't catch that, they don't pay attention to it, then they're printing that email, it's got the blue line on the bottom of it, start. So that's something we will continue to watch and monitor, but it really paid off this year because that, even though leases are up, whole cost is equal.
Great.
So I think it worked out the way it should. And just so you know too, we've had, we're starting to work with Basin now, and Jack, and our Dave Stryker, our analyst, put in, we'll have a number for next time we come up and talk about how many hours we put into this year. We don't charge for it. Done with the city, as far as lane lines go, all over DeKalb. Dave Stryker on an individual basis. 5 hours. Bills.
Good savings.
Question.
Okay, we're good. We're good. I think
If you
we're,
want to approve what we're doing this year, then we'll go ahead and get you leases. I did not bring any leases today. We will get those for the next meeting. I'll just drop them. You're good with them.
I'd make a proposal from Business Impressions.
Yep, I'll second.
okay, motion second on the floor. Additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same. Motion carries.
Thank you very much for this.
Okay,
Good
thank you,
service,
Jeff.
For the service. Yep.
Okay. Unpaid innkeeper's tax issue. Where are we at, Andrew?
Well, so
Another
there's
story.
someone with a similar name to the Ganesh Rao that we've been dealing with on these 2 hotels locally. Someone with that same name apparently has criminal cases over in Ohio. So similar name. So we think it might be the same person. You know, we're communicating with our the gentleman we've got contact with through the state, and we have an option potentially to file a lawsuit against one or both corporate entities that owe the tax. It sounded like when I was drilling down through it with Teresa and Collins and May, I don't know if Carla was involved in that, that the hotel that pays the taxes, the one that's open, is the same corporation or corporate entity that owns the land, which means that that one we could sue, and then any judgment we get out of it would be a lien if they try to sell the real estate. It's a lien that continues with the real estate, so if any other entity comes in and wants to do like some sort of a bank mortgage deal to buy it, the bank's gonna do title insurance, it'll get flagged and hopefully get paid out of closing. So, but, so far, the county has not yet sued an innkeeper yet, but this is a pretty extreme situation, so, I mean, it's up to you gentlemen whether or not you want to vote to file suit or.
Sue them. I want to do an audit because there's no way they have a 50% exemption rate
Mm-hmm.
on tax exempt stays when the average, we found the other hotels were 5 to 7% or something like that, and they're claiming 50% of their people. That's just, I'm not going to accuse them, but that just doesn't seem right. That's reasonable doubt there that, I think, do we have any authority to conduct an audit, or does anyone we hire someone to do an audit? Because
Yeah.
there's likely tens of thousands, if not more, money missing there.
Well, this,
We're gonna be lucky to get,
I know, but at
Well,
least we can
we
get a big lien. It's always fun to get a
That's-
judgment,
yeah,
you know,
that's true.
so.
the case in Ohio is apparently 180,000 of unpaid taxes, employee taxes, maybe other taxes.
Yeah.
So-
I read that.
It's
If it's the
pretty
same
So,
person.
If it's the same person. But yes, so we don't have an ability to make an audit, I don't think, under our current ordinance, at least to the best of my memory on that from when we were doing a deep dive into the ordinance and looking at it a little bit more. I'd say deep dive. But once we file a lawsuit, then we get the option of doing discovery, which means asking them
Produce
to produce all their paperwork,
yeah.
asking them questions in detail.
That's probably the thing to do is
Yeah.
in discovery. So how did you determine these taxes that you didn't pay?
Yep.
And how do you come up with 50-some% whenever the average is 7 and go, I want to see all your receipts of all your stays and all your, I think we need to go hard on this one. If
I
you,
think we do too.
if you let them off, other ones will say, well, hey, unfair competition, why are we paying?
Yeah, what is the downside for not paying? This guy got away with it.
Yeah, I think we got to go hard on this one.
Well, we're not gonna get any support from the state, from IDOR anyway, so we might as well go ahead and,
You know, we're getting some support through, an investigation, but
yeah.
not wanting to go into great detail, this morning on that, but that could take a while, and I agree with you. I feel like the IDOR has kind of indicated to me they don't have the staff to do these investigations anymore. But then that means that our state is going to lose money if they don't have people to investigate those that aren't paying.
Well, and we're kind of in an interesting situation with this tax because like IDOR, we collect sales tax for them. Right. They have their own audit crew. They come and audit us all the time and say, hey, this don't, oh, well.
We don't on our
And-
innkeeper
and-
tax have an audit
No,
system set
and when
up.
they come up with a judgment, you pay it. There is no courts, now if you can dispute it through the courts.
Right.
But we don't even have the ability to say, hey, you owe us this, and we're gonna lien you if you don't. They can do that. The IDOR can lien you even without a court order on the thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's different, I don't believe there's a statute that allows just an automatic lien for the innkeeper's taxes.
No, there isn't. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It's,
Right. So you have to file a lawsuit to get a
Yeah.
lien and win the lawsuit.
and I think we should just to make the case, guys. Otherwise, these others, what's their incentive for paying the tax? I'm not saying they would. Hopefully they're honorable, but you never know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair to the other hotels that have paid it. It's not fair to them.
And so there's one hotel that is being renovated for water damage.
Here by Westwood.
And so that's not having any income at all currently that I'm
Is that the
aware of.
Baymont? Or is that the
No,
one?
that's the Country Hearth.
I think that's, yeah, Baymont, I think, is the one that I'm talking about filing the suit on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. It's actually an issue that has been around since January of 2023, basically around the time that I started. We've had issues. They paid a little bit off and on, but
Like I said, I think they're picking and choosing what they want to pay too. Well, this one looks exempt to me. That one, maybe.
There's probably a lot more money involved there than we know.
Yeah.
okay. So,
I don't know, guys, do you want a motion on that? But Bill?
to sue the underlying entity that actually owes the taxes and, okay.
Yeah,
Make that
we need a motion.
I'd make a
Go ahead,
motion
Mike.
to proceed with a suit for the innkeeper's tax back taxes.
I will second.
A motion and second on the floor. Additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries.
Giving Jim a lot of work for next year.
Yeah,
And Bill.
and Bill. It seems kind of odd, the same name come up, but it's not a real common name. It's like Bill
Yeah.
Jones or Sam Smith.
Yeah.
It's,
Right. But at least it could hopefully be a lien on the real estate
Yeah.
before they sell.
right.
Be second place to the bank, of course.
Either Your second place or third place to whoever has a lien ahead of you, but,
But still, it's,
Still has to be cleaned up before they can sell it.
yeah.
yep.
Okay. Next item. Insurance trustees, work comp renewal. You are up. Come up and have a seat, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Uh-oh, uh-oh,
Oh, boy.
Oh,
uh-oh.
my.
Mike's on, pull him up close. If you would, please.
Oh, yeah.
Would that help my hearing?
I don't know if it'll hurt it.
No, that box is good for 12 pounds, though, I'll tell you that.
I want it now then.
good morning. Let me pass these out real quick to everybody so you can see the content.
Oh,
Take out.
Oh, my. Thank you.
Kyle?
All right. We sat down about a month ago and started to look through some of this preliminary work comp information. Everything flowed through like we thought it would. There were no big surprises to be mindful of. But there is some content to go through on the work comp renewal. But before we jump into that, some other items that are worth noting as we look towards the future for the county insurance. We have the cyber policy that comes up in February. And we've already sent that information over to, the renewal applications over to Jack Smith. He let us know that he's going to be retiring at the end of the year. So, congrats to him. But there was I'm not sure how to say the name,
Besa.
Besa Corti, that's going to be taking over for him. So we've already got that information over to Besa. We'll make sure we're following up with him to make sure that he has all the information he needs to fill it out correctly and answer questions that he might have. We'll use that. We're with Travelers on the cyber, and Travelers from our end, there's a lot of carriers that can do the cyber coverage. So we'll look at other options outside of Travelers for you guys, and they should be able to quote based off of the cyber, the Travelers application. The other carriers can. So we'll go to the market. Travelers from our perspective, maybe Mike can give his perspective, is the best as far as resources on the front end, proactive resources. So the county has a ton of penetration testing and data breach consulting and disaster recovery resources that are at your disposal. In the past, Jack hasn't really wanted to take advantage of them, which is fine. But with Besa, I'll make sure I get with him as well to make sure he knows everything that he has and what Travelers can do for him. There's no cost for any of it. It's all free or part of the policy. But then that's the front end side that they're great at. The back end side is the time of claim. They're phenomenal. We've seen them in work multiple times on an actual cyber claim, one time over a holiday weekend. And it was their response and expertise in that type of situation was the best we've seen in the market. So we'll go ahead and look at obviously that Travelers renewal. We'll also look at other options for you guys just to make sure we're getting the best option for you. And if we need to leverage that with Travelers, obviously we can.
I think the only thing I would add to what, I guess, tag on to what Kyle said is the services that Travelers offers on the front end. I think that it takes time, and but they test our systems. They can kind of give us an idea of if we have any breach potentials. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I think they would call it like a vulnerability. If we have vulnerabilities that maybe we're not aware of.
In any penetration attempts, there's a lot of testing they can do. It's a service they provide. I think it's something that it just takes time. So again, it goes back to if you guys will endorse doing it, I think it's something that I think it would be worthwhile for the county to do. We'd recommend it to all of our customers. At this we're in a different world than when we were 25 years ago, and we have to be concerned about these things. It's potential for everybody. It's going to happen. So, and you have a lot of information that we want to protect.
So that's kind of the next item after the work comp that we're already working on internally and with your staff behind the scenes. But as that progresses, we'll obviously get with the commissioners at that time and review that. The other thing that we've already started, we are about 150 days out from the property casualty renewal. So we always start 150 days out on our end, not only just with our internal staff, but HILB has a public entity team as well that's got offices throughout the country. So we're engaging with them as well to strategize what markets there are, what markets aren't performing. Maybe there's some new entrants to a marketplace to be mindful of. So we're going through that process now to identify. I think it might be helpful in January with the new commissioners to maybe come back in and review claims and just kind of talk through some of that stuff with them just to make sure we're all on the same page. But at the end of the day, we just switched the county to Travelers, as you guys well know, back in May. They've been phenomenal so far. Have no reason to believe they're not going to be phenomenal moving forward, but we'll look at every option we can, obviously, to make sure we're keeping them honest on that front. Anything to be mindful as we look at that, and before we jump into the work comp, as we look out to the package renewal, is there anything to be mindful of from our end? Any changes with Sunny Meadows or anything that could be material to what we're going to be going to market with? Or has it been pretty well status quo?
I don't think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
Nothing's really changed, no.
Okay.
Not at this point. It could.
Okay. Yeah, we'll dig in with, Sunny Meadows was one of those that we spent a lot of time on, rightfully so, to take good care of them and give them the coverage they need. So we'll continue to have that conversation with I'm drawing a blank on her name all of a sudden out there. She was phenomenal to work with. Angela. If there's been any changes there, the professional liability, it was obviously the biggest hurdle we had there. And we were able to get that surrounded for you guys, and we'll make sure we're still working on that. Okay, well, let's jump into, unless you guys have any questions, we can jump into this work comp information. Kind of have some upfront trends, data, information here from losses. Hasn't changed much from last month when we spoke, but I figured it was worth noting again. We had a phenomenal year with the county this year. We had 29 total claims, which is higher than or in line or even higher than some of the years past. But the reason why, once again, it's so high is because we're turning in every report-only claim that counts as it, right? Just to make sure that the documentation's there. And Dottie and her team, the safety committee, have done a phenomenal job getting with the department heads, just to realize that if you have the documentation on the front end, right, and we go through that process, the likelihood of that claim kind of spiraling out of control or kind of going into the gray area where people are collecting benefits maybe they don't need, all those types of scenarios, it really nips in the bud and everybody knows what's going on. IPEP has been really helpful in that as well. So I think although the claims are higher, you can see that the actual loss from the claims is lower. So we're having a really good year as far as our loss ratio. You can see on that third graph down there, we had a couple bad years. We had one fall off, which we talked about, which is why we're seeing that experience mod go from the 128 to the 119. So we're getting 9% savings just like that. And then next year, we ran some of the preliminary numbers. I think we're projecting at this time a 0.9 experience mod. So we're going to get another 30% in savings just like that next year. So it's huge savings. It's big money for the county. And I do think that the safety committee, IPEP, and everyone's attention to detail the last couple of years has really kind of, it's a big ship to steer fast, right? But when we start doing all the right things over and over again, it's paying dividends for us now. So it's been really positive. Any questions on that front?
No.
Okay. Next couple pages, you can see we're at that 1.19 experience mod. This is called ModMaster. It's an internal software that we have that's helpful for work comp and projecting the experience mod. The lowest the county could be is a 0.58. If we never had a claim for 3 years, we could technically get down to a 0.58. Something to shoot for. That'd be great. We know we're going to likely have some claims at some level. So as part of your 1.19 experience mod, our claims have directly led to 0.61 of that experience mod, is how you can do that calculation. So we'll, once again, hopefully next year that's going to be like a 0.31, which would be a step in the right direction. If you go one more page, it breaks out all the claims that we've had, and it actually assigns what the impact to the mod is, which is really helpful. So we can look at claims from the past, if we have something similar happening now, and really be able to better predict for the future how that's going to impact us. It gives us a little more power as we're handling that claim on how we want to be handling it for you guys. Any questions on that front? All pretty straightforward stuff. Here is the payrolls for the year. Susan, I believe you got Susan in our office. The updated payrolls was a 4% increase, I believe, year over year. So we took that in consideration for the renewal. And if you go to the last page there, you can see the pricing. So we were just over $204,000 last year. We got about a $11,000 savings. So we took a 4% increase in payroll, but still saw $11,000 in savings because of the experience mod. If we were at a 1.0 experience mod this year, I just did the quick math, it'd be about $162,000. So we're paying about 30 grand for that extra boost in the experience mod. But if we got down to that 0.9 like we talked about, it's like another $20,000 in savings. So, you know, it's probably going to be a $40,000 swing to the positive direction next year as we're projecting forward. Couple other items just to note there below. IPEP has been a good partner for a long time for us. I think I had mentioned in the past, they insure like 70% of the public entities in Indiana, which means that there's 30% they likely probably don't want to insure because their claims are bad. You know, so if they want to insure them at some level, they are doing a really good job of getting that business because they do it so well. Those 3 individuals below on the risk management team, you know, there's always turnover with carriers, but this is the best risk management team I've seen from them. Nevna internally handles all the reporting, and she's phenomenal. Christine Menina, I think I'm saying that right. She was a private detective in Indianapolis, and so they have a real police, you know, expertise on their team now that's really been helpful. She's the one that's been leading those active shooter trainings that people have been taking advantage of that have been really well received. And then Robert Yeary, he has more of a manufacturing background, more of an OSHA background, so he's going to see the other side of the coin that she just doesn't, you know, doesn't have the expertise in. So from our point of view, they're a great partner for not only us, but for the county, and we will continue to work with Dottie and just whatever department heads there are to make sure that the resources they have, which are immense, are being offered to any and everybody that wants to use them.
Hey, thank you for that.
Yeah. Anything you'd add to any of that, Mike?
You know, again, I think the only thing I would say is we're still in a hard market. So coverage is, meaning that coverage is typically harder to find and prices are typically going up. But we got a 9.4% net rate reduction after the mod and everything. So that's really good news for us. I think that, you know, that next year, you know, it's going to be, as Kyle mentioned, it's going to be better than that going forward. So our net costs are going down. So the hard work that we've done on the county safety committee and, you know, just making it aware. Awareness is really the key to safety. Mm-hmm. If we're aware of it, typically the environment improves. So, and again, your endorsement of it has always been the critical part of it. If you guys endorse it, it happens. If you don't, it doesn't. So thank you for that.
Okay. Okay. All right. This is up for renewal,
Yeah, this is a January 1st renewal.
January 1st.
IPEP is obviously the suggestion since it's.
Yeah, they are. And Bitco is another option. They weren't in the ballpark.
Well, it's Bitcoin. I want
Yeah,
to get
exactly,
into
yeah.
that if it's Bitcoin. Bitco, yeah, so you want a motion to accept, I'd make a motion to accept the renewal with IPEP on the.
I will second that.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Are there any additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion is approved. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
If I could say one thing personally, I just want to thank Mike and Todd both for, you know, I've known both of you for a number of years. And I just want to thank you for, I know your terms are up. It's not an easy job. You know, I honestly, I'm sure I'd never want to do it. You know, you can't make everybody happy, but I'm really grateful for your willingness to serve our county. And because it takes time, it takes away from other things that you can do. And I know, Bill, you're still stuck with it for a while. So, but I always admire people that are willing to serve our community in this way because you know you're not going to make everybody happy, and it takes courage to do this. So I just want to thank both of you for your time and what you're willing to do. So.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well said.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right.
Have a good day. Merry
Thanks, guys.
Christmas.
Yeah, same to you. Merry Christmas.
Safe holiday.
Yep.
Appreciate you taking care of that for us.
Okay, we have just a couple more items. Drug-free DeKalb grant recipient contract with commissioner's approval.
So you've already approved the recipients. These are now, each person and Lucky Bill gets to sign them all. Each entity has a contract between the drug-free and you commissioners that they sign and then the commissioners sign. And then it includes their MOU with all that. So we usually just have you motion to accept these and for Bill to sign all of them, and then I get them paid.
Well, I will make that exact motion for
Thank
Bill to
you.
sign all of those, and we'll approve the drug-free DeKalb grants.
I will second.
Okay, a motion and a second on the floor. Additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carries. Before I sign that, let's clean the rest of this up. Here's water softener quotes. What do we got there?
In the email on that one.
I didn't
Must have missed it.
I think they're
I
in there.
didn't either. I might have missed.
So, we have one from Felger Hart for, I don't know, you guys can just look at them.
Yeah, if you, because I don't think it was in the packet.
There's a Felger Hart one and a Pranger water
And a
softener.
Pranger. I'm pretty sure
After all the
it's,
drug-free recipient deals in
I'm pretty sure it's in there.
miscellaneous. But it was down at the bottom, so it might not
These two, this can just stay in the thing.
Sorry. Wow.
Yeah. Where'd you see that one? That's a wow.
Well, the Pranger initial one just came at whatever that was added together, the full amount. And I asked if they could break it down because I think the Felgerhart one was for materials only. I
It
think.
is. It's
Okay.
materials only, but they're at 18,688 versus 25,000. Just materials through Pranger. Pranger's not,
But is it the same quantity? I don't know.
that's just it. This is, the Felgerhart says 2 new commercial tanks and they, 2 commercial heads and a 30 by 50 brine tank. All resin needed to charge both resin tanks, but this one just says what kind of equipment they're gonna install. Pranger. Furnish install 1 new duplex softener system is all it says. Or if we could get these quotes expanded a little better from Pranger, like they could out a little further and tell us exactly what we're getting. Because it just says 1 new duplex softener system. I don't know. Yeah, $7,000 difference in equipment, oh, that's pretty big.
It's pretty big.
I don't know what the labor would be for Felgerhart, but I would also, does Felgerhart install also? I assume they do.
Yeah.
We ought to get a
Sure.
quote from them
That's
to,
who, they do all of our
yeah.
normal work.
So they ought to give us, don't you guys think they ought to quote us labor too, so we have an apples to apples quote?
Yeah, we gotta have better quote.
I think we should both have them resubmit, them to expand theirs, tell us what we're getting, and them give us a labor quote.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
think
guys
so
think?
too.
Can you see it? That would make
I
sense to me.
wouldn't mind seeing a third quote.
Yeah, and even a third quote,
Actually.
if possible. But I think we need labor, just so we have apples to apples.
Yeah. What was the labor on that one? 12?
10,000 labor.
10,000?
Seems like a lot. I mean, are they repiping the,
Oh. I mean, it's
Move
water in,
existing
water.
and pipe, prepare piping for new unit,
but isn't that just cut the pipe and
furnish and install
put a
copper
union in or something?
piping.
Or?
Yeah, pretty much. This isn't rocket science.
Yeah. Well, don't say that, because I'll do it, and then you'll have a big leak, so.
We'll just flood the place.
I think that's what we ought to do. Table this and tell them to
Yeah, let's table it.
Need to be,
maybe
have
get,
some clarification.
yeah, get a labor quote from Felgerhart. Because if Felgerhart's maybe 4,000 or 5,000 on labor, that's a big difference in quote, then, you know.
Okay.
I'll let them know.
Anybody have anything else?
Yes, I had one more thing I had included there. This is the 25 your attorney fee agreement.
Oh, yes, I saw that. was for 52, or it was for 32,000 and $82 an hour, and paralegal was
Right.
$12.50 an hour. So yes, I'm good
Right.
with that.
Those numbers don't sound quite right there.
Now, what was it, 52,177 an hour, and how much for paralegal?
Mike's, I don't,
75, 155 and
yeah,
75.
155 still for
Yeah, so
litigation.
155 per hour, 77.50 for paralegal, and you're anticipating the insurance company on a lot of the outside work.
Yes, for the lawsuits filed
Yeah.
against the county, but for the lawsuits we're filing.
Yeah, we have to
you know,
pay.
We don't have an insurance company to do that.
Yeah, I make a motion to accept the pay agreement for 2025.
I'll second that.
So far, I haven't had to actually appear,
Huh?
You all need to sign it.
Oh, okay.
so far, I haven't had to actually appear in any of the cases against the county, like from prisoners or otherwise.
You know, as a good attorney, you're supposed to shut up when you win. I just said it.
Okay,
Don't argue myself out of it, right?
we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. Motion carries. Well, I guess we'll pay him.
Just give me some legal advice.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate you
Oh, wait,
guys
am I
allowing
gonna
me
be
to
sued now
continue.
for giving
So,
legal advice? We appreciate your service. You do a
well,
great
I'm
job.
glad I can do it.
You're always prepared, you always have your
Okay,
answers.
anything else? Anyone?
Send us emails on Sunday evening.
Anything else?
Nothing here, Bill.
Going once, going, I got one thing.
Oh,
I talked to Jeff Hurod about the county farm property. He's saying, well, I don't know, why don't you make me an offer?
for what? No,
Make him an offer
for the county farm property.
for the little
That little
quarter
landlocked
acre.
piece of,
The guy wants to sell us a quarter acre out by
Oh,
the
sell
county.
us.
yeah,
You said, oh.
Yeah.
By the county farm.
By the county farm, okay, I thought you meant somebody, oh, you're talking that little piece that, let's just keep it. Or
Okay,
we
but-
don't need to buy that.
Right, I thought we decided we weren't buying it.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know why we would spend any money on property we don't need.
yeah, I don't think we need it, Bill. Let the farmer buy it, that's adjacent.
He's not been able to get a hold of the farmer for some reason.
I'm not interested in it myself.
Okay, I'll just give him that final. We're not interested. Yeah, okay,
Wants to donate it, we'll take it, but I
that's all
don't
I
see that
had.
happening, so.
Anybody else?
And for me,
All righty, hearing none, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Good morning.
Thank you.